All right, you are live. Let's share the screen. Perplexity, share. Let me check if we can see this. Perfect. Okay. So, what is the question? Who founded Ben and Jerry's ice cream? That's where we ended the last stream. Okay. Here are the founders. This seems like the OG Ben and Jerry's store. I think I've only had Ben and Jerry's once or twice. Okay. Founded in 1978 by Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield, childhood friends from Merrick, New York. The duo opened their first ice cream parlor in a renovated gas station in Burlington, Vermont, with a modest investment of $12,000, which included a $5 correspondence course on ice cream making from Pennsylvania State University. Okay. The unique approach to ice cream emphasized high quality ingredients and creative flavors, often featuring chunks of cookies, candy, and other mix ins. Partly inspired by Cohen's and anosmia, lack of a sense of smell that influenced his focus on texture and flavor intensity. Ooh, over the years, Ben& Jerry's became known not just for its delicious products, but also for its commitment to social activism and community-oriented initiatives. Okay, let's check out this ice cream making course. What was the $5 correspondence course on ice cream making? Any pictures? This seems like the first truck. Oops, Perplexity's glitching. Anything new here? Okay. So they started in 1978. So it's been 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, almost 50 years. Okay. Founders took a $5 correspondence course on ice cream making from Pennsylvania State University in 1978. Let me quickly check the stream. Okay, we're good. Mm-mm-mm. This course was a crucial step in their journey to start their ice cream business, as neither of them had any prior experience in making ice cream. Oh, okay. So where did they get the idea? It was an ice cream making class offered by Penn State University. Both enrolled in the course, both received an A in the course, partly because the final exam was open book. The course provided them with the basic knowledge they needed to start their ice cream venture. The $5 investment in education combined with their $12,000 initial investment, which included $4,000 from each of them and a $4,000 bank loan, allowed them to open their first ice cream shop in a converted gas station in Burlington, Vermont. This modest beginning laid the foundation for what would eventually become a global renowned ice cream brand. Very interesting. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. What did I wanted to look into? Mm-mm-mm. Oh yeah, how did they come up with the idea of ice cream? They did not initially plan to create an ice cream business. The journey began with the desire to open a bagel shop, but they quickly realized that the necessary equipment was prohibitively expensive. This led them to pivot towards ice cream, which they believed would require a smaller investment. To prepare for the new venture, they enrolled in the course. Okay. This course provided them with essential knowledge about production. Then they converted a gas station into ice cream parlor in Burlington, Vermont, after noticing that the college town had no other ice cream shops to compete with. Wow. Their background experience also played. There was no other ice cream shop in the city, in the college town. Huh. Ben had worked as an ice cream truck driver during high school, while Jerry had scooped ice cream at Oberlin College. These experiences contributed to their familiarity with the product and its appeal. Ultimately, their decision to make ice cream turned out to be a successful pivot, leading to the establishment of the now famous Ben and Jerry's brand. Okay, why did they wanna start a bagel shop? Was it Bagel Shop? Yeah, Bagel Shop. Ben and Jerry initially wanted to start a bagel shop because they both had a passion for food and wanted to create a fun business. They had previously discussed various food related ideas, including a fondue restaurant, but ultimately settled on bagels due to their familiarity with the product and the potential market they perceived. However, they quickly abandoned the idea of opening a bagel shop when they learned about the high costs associated with the necessary equipment for bagel making. And that's when they thought of ice cream. They took the course, $5 course. Additionally, they recognized that their desired location, a rural college town, did not have a significant bagel market, further influencing the decision to switch to ice cream. Very interesting. Where they found a niche that had not yet been filled by other ice cream shops. Let me search for images. Anything interesting? Ben and Jerry's, Vermont's finest. Interesting. Are they still involved in the company today? Just curious. Let's see. We are skipping. We started from the origin story to directly the end, but let's see. No longer directly involved in the day to day management of Ben and Jerry's, but they remain active advocates for the company's social initiatives. Now, in their early 70s, continue to support various causes and participate in events related to social justice, rallies, discussions, police reform, environmental activism. While they sold the company to Unilever in 2000. Okay, it's been almost 25 years since they sold the company. So they sold the company after 1978, after 22 years. For $326 million, they retained an independent board to oversee the company's social mission. They sold it to Unilever, but they still oversee the company's social mission. This arrangement has allowed them to influence the brand's commitment to activism, although they have expressed concerns about how effectively this mission is upheld under different leadership. Their ongoing involvement reflects their dedication to the values. Okay. Who is the mm-mm, oh, who is the current CEO of Ben and Jerry's? Is he the CEO? Okay, too many different guys. The current CEO of Ben and Jerry's is Dave Stever, who was promoted to the position on May 8, 2023. So it's been more than a year since he's the CEO. He succeeded Matthew McCarthy, who recently retired after 5 years in the role. Stever has a long history with the company, having started as a tour guide in 1988 and serving as chief marketing officer for the past 12 years before his promotion. His extensive experience within the company marks the first time since co founder Ben stepped down in 1994 that an internal staff member has been elevated to CEO. Interesting. Okay. I am curious, why did Ben Cohen step down as CEO? We are jumping between timelines, but let's see where this takes us. Ooh, fancy truck. Fancy truck. Okay. Ben stepped down as CEO of Ben and Jerry's in 94 for several reasons. Company's growth by 94, Ben and Jerry's has had grown significantly, bringing in about 150 million a year in ice cream sales in 1994. Wow. Okay. This growth likely necessitated a change in leadership to manage the expanding business, shift in focus. Cohen's departure as CEO allowed him to focus more on the company's social mission and activism, which had always been a core part of Ben& Jerry's identity. Okay. I'm curious when did they finally started to really focus, really go all in on social activism? Was there an incident or was it just like natural evolution? Cohen stepping down may have been part of a broader strategy to prepare the company for potential future changes. Indeed, 6 years later, Unilever acquired Ben& Jerry's. Personal reasons. While not explicitly stated in the search results, it's possible that Cohen had personal motivations for stepping down, such as pursuing other interests or reducing his workload. Despite stepping down, involved with the company, he stayed on as an employee of Ben& Jerry's. I'm curious if he still gets a salary. Does Ben still take a salary from the company. Ben no longer takes a salary directly from Ben and Jerry's. Ben resigned. Okay, we earlier read he stepped down in 94, and here it says he resigned as the company's CEO in 96. Perplexity is messing up somewhere. In 2000, Ben& Jerry's was acquired. Okay, after the acquisition, Cohen has not been actively involved in the operations or management. However, the search results mentioned that Ben and Jerry receive a salary from Unilever but are not involved in the company's operations or management. Okay, interesting. Let's see. Where when did Ben and Jerry when did okay, why did they name it? Why did they name it Ben and Jerry? Or maybe the better question would be, was it always the name? Part reflects a partnership and friendship which dates back to childhood where they met in seventh grade. Initially, they planned to start a bagel shop, blah, 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 blah. They opened, da, 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 and chose to use their names for branding, which has since become iconic in the ice cream industry. It not only highlights the personal connection, but also emphasizes the company's roots. Okay. How did the Ben and Jerry meet? Good question. It, it says in high school in seventh grade. In 63, when they were both in seventh grade at Merrick Avenue Junior High School on Long Island, New York, their initial connection was formed during gym class, where they bonded over their mutual dislike of athletics and physical activities. Wow. Okay. According to their own accounts, Ben and Jerry described themselves as having been the slowest and fattest kids in their class. During a gym class where they were supposed to be running around the track, they found themselves struggling at the back of the pack. Jerry recalls that while everyone else was running, he and Ben weren't participating with much enthusiasm. In one amusing anecdote, Jerry remembers the gym coach yelling at them and Ben shouting back, which Jerry found funny. Jerry remembers the gym coach yelling at them and Ben shouting back, which Jerry found funny. The shared experience of being the less athletic kids in class helped form their friendship. Both Ben and Jerry came from similar backgrounds. Jerry's father was a stockbroker, while Ben's was an accountant. So they had money. This chance meeting and shared experience in gym class laid the foundation for a friendship that would eventually lead to the creation of one of the world's most famous ice cream brands. I am just curious, what was their revenue last year? What was their revenue last year? Just want to see the difference between the acquisition amount, which 300 in 2000 was already a big amount. Let's see. Okay, according to search results, revenue in 2023 was $951 million. Wow. Unilever acquired Ben& and Jerry's in 2000 for 326 million. And in 2023, the revenue was 951 million. The jump isn't that massive as I would have expected because it's been a long time. It's been 24 years. Wow. This made Ben& and Jerry's the leading ice cream. Still, it's the leading ice cream brand in the United States based on sales value. It's worth noting that this figure represents a slight increase from the previous year, as the source results mentioned that Ben& Jerry's brought in 911 million in sales in 22. Okay. I don't know if this graph. Ben& Jerry's sales have doubled in past 10 years. Okay. Good to know. Geographic breakdown. So most is North America, second is Europe, then it's Australasia, okay, Middle East, and Asia Pacific. Hmm. Who owns Ben and Jerry's? Good question. So Unilever has 61% ownership. Mutual funds and Unit Trust of India. Interesting. 3%. Financial institutions and bank 3%. Insurance companies 4%. Foreign portfolio investors 14.95. Bodies corporate 44, NRIs, foreign nationals 0.51, directors and the relatives. Unilever is primarily owned by Unilever and Associates, followed by portfolio. Okay, okay. Unilever generated $60 billion in revenue, comprising many brands spanning beauty. Okay, this was interesting. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Let's see, where do we go from here? When did they open their second store? When did they start finally becoming a franchisee? Okay, Ben and Jerry opened the second store in 1981 in Shelburne, Vermont. So 1978, first store. 3 years later, second store. This expansion followed the success of their first ice cream shop, which they had opened in a renovated gas station. The Shelburne location marked the beginning of their franchising efforts, allowing the brand to grow beyond its original location. Can we find an image? Wow, beautiful old school image is right here. Interesting. Mm-mm-mm-mm. What was the reception? Okay, actually, what was the story of Ben and Jerry's growth in their first 5 years, let's say? Experienced significant growth in their first 5 years in operation. Here's a timeline. 78, Ben and Cohen opened their first ice cream shop. They were both 27-year-old at the time. They dropped other food items like crepes and soups to focus exclusively on ice cream as it proved more successful. They began selling their ice cream wholesale to local stores. The company introduced, wow, so they already started selling the wholesale ice cream just 1 year later. The company introduced the first free cone day to thank the community for the support. 1980, started packing their ice cream in pints for distribution to local grocery stores. Let's see if we have some images. Mm-mm-mm. We have an image of a pint over here. 81, they opened the second store, which was their first franchised location in Shelburne. Time magazine declared their ice cream the best in the world. Hmm. Ben& Jerry's opened their first non-Vermont franchise in Maine. They signed a distribution deal with Boston distribution firm. The company settled on some of its signature flavors, including Cherry Garcia and New York Super Fudge Chunk. By the end of their first 5 years, Ben& Jerry had transformed from a single ice cream parlor to a growing brand with multiple locations and wholesale distribution. The unique, chunky flavors and community-oriented approach helped them stand out in the market and build a loyal customer base. Hmm. I am curious. How did Ben& Jerry differentiate themselves from Haagen-Dazs? What role the local community play? Actually, I'm curious about this first. Let's see. The local community played a significant role in Ben& Jerry's early success. Customer support. As the only ice cream shop in the college town, Ben& Jerry's quickly gained popularity. Quick check over here. Okay. Gained popularity among local residents and students. The unique flavors and approach attracted a loyal customer base. Local sourcing, commitment to using local ingredients, milk from Vermont dairy farmers, helped strengthen their ties to the local economy. Community engagement, just 1 year after opening, introduced the first free cone day to thank the community. This gesture helped build goodwill. Okay. Local investment. When the company needed capital to grow in 85, instead of seeking venture capital funding, they sold 500,000 shares to Vermont residents. This allowed community members to become stakeholders in the company's success. Interesting. 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 They sold 500,000 shares to Vermont residents. Local talent. Ben& Jerry's turned to local artists to help design their stores, merchandise, and packaging, further integrating the business into the local creative community. The company's strong association with Vermont helped create a unique brand identity that resonated with both locals and customers beyond the state. I am curious how many people, huh? There's a question over here. How did Banji's decision to sell stock to Vermont residents impact their local roots? I am curious. How many Vermont residents became millionaires from selling their Ben and Jerry's shares? Let's see what Perplexity has to say. There is no specific information. Yeah, it's a very specific question. 85, when Ben and Jerry's needed capital to grow. Okay, from now let's call them B and J. Instead of seeking venture capital funding, they sold 500,000 shares. Okay, this allowed committee members to become stakeholders. In 2000, Unilever acquired B&J for 326 million or 43.60 per share for the company's 8.4 million outstanding shares. Prior to the buyout speculation that began in December 99, the company's shares were trading at roughly $17 per share. Mm-mm-mm. There's no specific information about how many became millionaire as a result. The number of millionaires would depend on factors like how many shares individual investors own and what price they originally purchased them. Actually, this is interesting. What were the reactions of Vermont residents to the buyout by Unilever? Emotional impact diminished. The article mentions that the emotional reaction to the sale of Vermont companies has diminished since the days that P&G's was sold to Unilever. This suggests that while there was some emotional response, it wasn't as intense as it might have been for a company deeply tied to Vermont's identity. Whoa, whoa. Concern about social mission. They were concerned whether well known social activism and unique flavors would endure under Unilever's ownership. Okay. However, Unilever made commitments to maintain the company's social mission. Economic benefits. The sale created some newly wealthy founders who stayed in Vermont to start new businesses or invest in other startups. This suggests that some residents saw potential economic benefits from the buyout. Loss of local connections. Some residents felt a loss of the local touch. Locally owned companies have leaders who are part of the community. Continued presence. Unilever committed to maintaining B&G's corporate presence in Vermont for at least 5 years and promised to avoid material layoffs for at least 2 years. Okay. Long term disappointment. Mm-mm. Okay. So Ben and Jerry have expressed disappointment the company has shifted away from its original mission of social responsibility under Unilever ownership. And let's ask this important question: do they regret the sale? Wow, we can keep going deeper and deeper over here. Do regret the sale. Let's see. Let's see. There's an article over here called The Truth About Ben and Jerry's. Wow. How sticking to its values helped Ben and Jerry's grow. Can we find some cool images over here? There's a beautiful image of them hugging. They're in their 70s now, sitting on a bench. Okay. Reluctance to sell. Have expressed that they did not want to sell the company initially. Greenfield stated, "We didn't want to get bought by anybody." Perceived legal obligation. Cohen has claimed that they felt compelled to sell due to legal responsibilities, saying the law required the board of directors of B&G to take an offer to sell the company despite the fact that they did not want to sell the company. Interesting. So basically, because they didn't want to sell the company, but because it was good for the shareholders, they had to. They legally had to fiduciary duty. Disappointment. Over time, so observers, including Cohen and Greenfield themselves, have expressed disappointment that the company has shifted away. Okay. Ongoing involvement. While they are no longer involved in the management of the company, still work as advisors to help shape the brand's direction, suggesting they maintain some level of commitment to the company's future. Defense of company actions. The founders defended B&G's decision to halt ice cream sales in the West Bank, indicating they still feel connected to and supportive of some of the company's social stances. Interesting. Okay. Give a timeline of growth of Ben and Jerry's from 1978 to 2000. Let's see. 79, they dropped crepes and soups to focus on ice cream. 80, started packing ice cream in pints. 81, opened their first franchised location. Time magazine declares their ice cream the best in the world. 82, original scoop shop is demolished to make way for a parking lot. Oh no. 82, the original scoop shop is demolished to make a parking lot. Interesting. First out of state store opens. 83, participate in building the world's largest ice cream sundae in Vermont. Open more scoop shops. 84, sales exceed 4 million, more than double the previous year. Establish a Vermont only public stock offering to raise money for a new manufacturing plant. 85 to 86, continued expansion and growth. 87, 30 million in sales with ice cream available in 35 states. 88, win the title of US Small Business Persons of the Year awarded by President Ronald Reagan. 94, okay, we skip a bunch of years over there. Ben Cohen steps down as CEO, company hits $150 million in sales. Hmm. Let's read about the Free Cone Day. Okay. Free Cone Day in 79 had significant positive impact on their early business growth, customer appreciation. The event was initially conceived as a way to thank customers for supporting the business during its challenging first year, which helped build customer loyalty. Free Cone Day attracted many new customers and generated word of mouth publicity, increasing awareness of the brand. Annual tradition, the success led to it becoming an annual event, continued for over 40 years and spread globally. Foot traffic promotion drove substantial foot traffic, converting people into regular customers. Community engagement established them as community oriented business. Marketing innovation, interesting. Growth catalyst, as they opened their first franchisee in 81, just 2 years after Free Cone Day. Long term impact, okay. Aiming to distribute over 1 million free scoops globally in recent years. Very interesting. Is Ben and Jerry's still the best ice cream in the world? Let's see. It is subjective, quality and flavor variety. Many fans continue to praise them for its unique flavors and high quality ingredients, chunky mix-ins and creative combinations, which many consumers find appealing. Okay. Let's also search images if we have something interesting. No, we don't have anything interesting. Reviews highlight flavors like chocolatey love affair and PB s'mores, noting their rich textures and satisfying flavor profiles. Mixed opinions express that while they were once groundbreaking, other brands have caught up in terms of flavor innovation quality. Their experience was underwhelming, describing it as tasting like normal ice cream with cookie bits. Pricing concerns, some feel is too high for what they perceive as average quality. Mm-mm. Community engagement, adding value beyond just the product itself. Socially conscious consumers, nostalgia and tradition remains a nostalgic choice tied to memories of enjoying their ice cream during special occasions or community events like Free Cone Day. Okay, okay. Yeah, obviously, I think people would have caught up. Okay. Hmm. What was the first flavor they sold? The first was vanilla. They recognized the importance of perfecting a classic flavor before experimenting with more complex combinations. Vanilla served as the foundation upon which they would later build their reputation for unique and innovative flavors, which became a hallmark of the brand. Chocolate chip cookie dough was the first flavor to hit frozen shelves following the initial offerings. Hmm. The combination of classic and innovative flavors helped establish them as ice cream leader in the ice cream industry. Interesting. How did they transition from vanilla to their signature chunky flavors? Gradual process driven by innovation, customer preferences, and the founder's unique approach to ice cream making, starting with the basics. Okay, early experimentation. Soon after opening, they started incorporating mix-ins, but struggled with Harold's method of fully integrating toppings into the ice cream. Interesting. No good image over here. Developing the technique, fine tune their approach, using a mixer to incorporate sweets and syrups directly into the ice cream, unlike the folding in method used by competitors. Okay. Ben's lack of sense of smell led to the creation of more intensely flavored ice creams with varied textures, as he wanted recipes that could be a sensory experience from him for him. Cohen advocated for larger chunks in the ice cream, while Greenfield preferred small pieces. Cohen's preference for large chunks eventually won out, leading to their signature chunky style. Unique production methods. They developed unconventional techniques such as throwing boxes of toffee from a ladder to achieve the desired chunk size. They developed unconventional techniques such as throwing boxes of toffee from a ladder to achieve the desired chunk size. Continuous innovation. The company began creating unique flavor combinations without extensive market testing, leading to popular flavors like Chunky Monkey and Cherry Garcia. Customer driven innovation. Some flavors were created based on customer suggestions, like chocolate chip cookie dough. I'm curious, what is the Harold's method thing? Okay, let's see. Harold seems like a competitor from the old times. Steve Harrell. Okay, Harrell's method of fully integrating toppings into ice cream, which he pioneered, is called smooshin or smooshin. Steve Harrell developed this technique at his first ice cream store near Boston in 1973. The process involves manually mixing chosen toppings into a dish of ice cream using a scoop and spade. Oh, this seems like a roll ice cream. Okay. Customers can select which mix-ins they want added to their ice cream. It allows customizations. Texture, smooshing concept was innovative, has been widely imitated by national chains. It's described as a noun and a verb, the act of mixing toppings. It's worth noting that while Ben& Jerry's later became famous for the chunky mix-ins, they initially struggled with Harold's method before developing their own approach to incorporating mix-ins. Okay, interesting. This was very interesting. They used to throw boxes of toffee from a ladder to achieve the desired chunk size. What were the unique production methods of Ben and Jerry's? Mixer incorporation. Unlike heralds, they used a mixer to incorporate sweets and syrups directly into the ice cream. More thoroughly blended flavors, large chunks. They advocated for larger chunks in their ice cream, which was uncommon in the industry. They created their signature chunky style and led to the practice of mining for big pieces in the ice cream. Huh. Chunk creation. To achieve the desired chunk size, they used unconventional method, throwing boxes of toffee from a ladder height to shatter them into fragments. Wow. Okay. Is this interesting? Sugar, pump, stabilizer, pump, cocoa, egg yolks, cream, condensed skim milk, all goes into the blend tank, and pump, surge pump. Interesting. Interesting. Whoa. This is cool. Salted caramel brownie ale, Moforia low calorie ice cream, Corpine snackable dough chunks, candy bar, pie slices. Life cycle analysis study. Okay, let's go back. Flavor vats. They used a series of 500-gallon stainless steel vats called flavor vats to transform the base mix into flavored ice cream. Low overrun. Ben& Jerry's ice cream features low overrun, less air incorporated, which contributes to its dense and creamy texture. By the way, this is crazy. Like, this is not a thoroughly blended ice cream. It's just like choose your own adventure. Do you want the entire thing? Do you just want one of the sides? Very interesting. Variegator. They use a machine called a variegator to inject variegates sauces or syrups into ice cream stream, creating swirls and ribbons throughout the product. Ooh, quality control. Ben Cohen's unique approach to R&D involved eating entire pints of ice cream to ensure consistent taste and texture throughout the container. Wow. So they basically came up with the concept of Netflix and eating a pint of ice cream, where it's not a consistent thing, it is kind of an adventure. Flavor development. They created flavors without extensive market testing, leading to innovative combinations like Chunky Monkey and Cherry Garcia. Customization for anosmia. Okay, interesting. Variegator is interesting. What is variegator? So this is used to make swirls and ribbons. Variegate, pump, dashers, ice cream, injector, variegate, variegate, ice cream with swirl. Huh. It would be very interesting to see a video of this, but this makes a lot of sense. Specialized piece of equipment used in ice cream production to create swirls or ribbons of sauce, syrup, or other flavorings throughout the ice cream. Function: it injects variegates into the ice cream stream, creating swirls and ribbons throughout the product. Let me quickly check the stream. We are at 38 minutes. Oh no. Hey, my friend is here. Ariman, what's up? Process: properly cooled variegates pass through the variegator, which injects them into the ice cream stream as it flows. Importance: it's crucial for achieving by the way, hey Ariman, what's up? Importance: it's crucial for achieving the signature swirled appearance in many ice cream flavors, adding visual appeal and flavor variation. Precision: when working correctly, it ensures an even distribution of variegates throughout the ice cream. Challenges: If not functioning properly, it can lead to messy production issues, temperature control, production speed, design variations, optimization. Very interesting. Okay, this seems like the right video. Hmm. Does Unilever owns any other ice cream brand? Yes, Unilever owns several other ice cream brands in addition to Ben and Jerry. Some of the notable. Oh shit. Okay, Magnum, known for its chocolate-coated ice cream bars. Breyers, Good Humor. Klondike, Cornetto, Popsicle, Talenti, Walls. I thought Popsicle was uh not a brand. Offers a wide range of frozen treats. Interesting. Reese, Breyers, Magnum, Talenti. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So they have a lot of brands. Famous for its ice cream bars and treats, known for its ice cream sandwiches. Which brand, which Unilever ice cream brand makes the most revenue? Let's see. Let's see. I wish I could see the comments. Share the bigger picture. What are we learning today through ice cream? Yes. Hi, Ariman. I wish I could see it live somewhere over here while I'm screen sharing. Okay. However, we can infer some. Okay, so they don't know the exact brand, but we can infer some key points about Unilever's ice cream business. Power brands such as Magnum, Cornetto, and Ben& and Jerry's. Cornetto makes sense. Unilever, Nestle, Blue Bell, Wells, Eden Creamery. Oh, so much consolidation. Dominant contribution. Magnum and Cornetto ice creams, two of Unilever's core so called power brands, produce close to 85% of the ice cream unit's turnover in 2023. Focus on power brands continues to invest behind these power brands, which are well positioned to meet consumers' desire for superior and indulgent ice cream. They will continue focusing on resources on. Very interesting. Huh, okay. What strategies are Unilever using to boost ice cream sales? Premiumization. Yeah, just charge more. Double the price. Magnum seems to be doing a lot of marketing where it's just premium, more premium, just more chocolatey. Yeah, Magnum. Ben and Jerry's, they just have bigger boxes now. Okay. Bigger pints. Premium offerings like Magnum and Ben& and Jerry's aiming to expand their share of ice cream sales from 35, 45% to over 50% by 2025. Expansion in emerging markets, planning to grow their footprint in emerging markets from just over 25% to more than 40, using a clear codified model that includes offering products at every price point to compete with snacks and soft drinks. Clear codified model that includes offering products at every price point to compete with snacks and soft drinks. Would you have snacks, soft drinks, or ice cream? Okay. Digitalization and e commerce, enhancing frozen routes to market through digitization, especially in out of home and e commerce channels, expanding the ice cream now initiative, aiming to grow it from 400 million euros to 1 billion euro. Okay. AI enabled freezers, equipping freezer cabinets with AI and image capture technology. Okay, you just added AI over there, but how do we actually do it? An image capture technology to track stock levels in real time. Okay, capture. Okay, so You have warehouses where you have cameras and you know how much stock we have at all the time in real time. And what? Using data insights to help retailers maximize revenues and improve restocking efficiency. Makes sense. Innovation in product offerings. That's just like putting a camera in your refrigerator and knowing that, hey, you don't have lettuce. So order lettuce from Instacart. Okay. Innovation product offerings, focusing on five key areas of innovation: size, flavor, format, sub brand, and brand innovation. Introducing new product lines such as plant based options, indulgent mini versions, and unique flavor pairings. Leveraging consumer insights, using data from AI enabled freezers to understand the performance of new product launches and marketing campaigns, aligning product development with consumer needs and trends, improving operational efficiency. Makes sense. Strategic separation of ice cream business. Unilever has announced plans to separate its ice cream division to better focus on its growth potential under different ownership structure. What does that mean? But I'm also interested in ice cream now, digitization, AI. Okay, let's see. Ice cream now first. Rapid growth, launched in 2017, one freezer and Deliveroo. Okay, so this seems like ghost kitchens, but for ice cream. We have a picture of a cornetto. Is this? They could have, yeah, Tesla's coming out with a robot taxi. You could have a moving AI freezer, and that's always on the road. Ice cream now makes sense. Accounting for 400 million in sales in 2022. Hmm. Da-da-da-da-da. The company plans to expand offerings through meal delivery, quick service restaurants, and strategic partners to achieve this growth. Okay. Quick service restaurants. Hmm. Enhance its frozen routes to market through digitization. Yes, we read that. Digital capabilities like image capturing for automatic ordering and replenishment. Unilever is driving growth and improving service to shopkeepers. Meet the growing consumer trend for on demand ice cream available anytime and anywhere. Hmm. Interesting. AI enabled freezers. Premiumization. Actually, let's look into this. They're planning to spin out the ice cream division. What, or let's say, tell me more. Let's check the feed. It's been 47 minutes. Okay, perfect. Separation plan. Unilever will spin off its ice cream business into a standalone company. Huh. That's like breaking up big tech, breaking up AWS from Amazon. The separation process is expected to begin immediately and be completed by the end of 2025. Okay, this is very recent. Affected brands. Major brands such as Ben and Jerry's, Magnum, Walls, and Walls. I think I've had Walls once, and Popsicle. Ice cream division generated 7.9 billion euros in turnover, about 13% of Unilever total sales. What is the rationale? Yes, believes the ice cream business has distinct characteristics that differ from its other operations: a unique supply chain and point of sale for frozen goods, different channel landscape, more seasonality, greater capital intensity, better realized under different ownership structure. Okay. This move is part of Unilever's growth action plan announced in October 23. The plan aims to focus on a portfolio of brands with strong positions in complementary categories. Potential outcomes: a demerger is the most likely separation route, but other options will be considered. Open to potential sale of ice cream brands. As part of this restructuring, Unilever plans to cut 7,500 jobs globally. Hmm. They're laying off 7,000 people. They are separating ice cream brands. They're not selling, but they're considering future focus. Unilever will concentrate on four business groups: beauty and well being. That makes sense. When we think about Unilever, we think about beauty, well being, personal care, not much nutrition, maybe home care. Okay. The company aims to achieve mid single digit underlying sales growth and modest margin improvement post separation. The ice cream division has been underperforming compared to other Unilever categories with challenges in certain markets like China. Unilever is working to improve the division's performance before the separation. Okay, let's see. Is the who are the biggest ice cream brand conglomerates, let's say, because most of the time it's a conglomerate. Number one is Unilever, owns the major brands, has about 20% of the global market share in ice cream, twice that of its nearest competitor. So Unilever is the biggest one. Oh yeah, we have Baskin Robbins, we have Haagen Dazs. I don't know of any other brands. Da, 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 da. Cows, Carte Dur. Okay. Magnum and Cornetto produce close to 85% of the ice cream units. Okay. So Nestle, sorry, not Nestle owns Haagen-Dazs and Dreyer's, one of the largest ice cream manufacturers globally. General Mills owns Haagen-Dazs, shared ownership with Nestle and Fronnery. Interesting. Fronnery. Huh. Haagen-Dazs is owned by Nestle, General Mills, and Fronnery. Joint venture between Nestle and R&R Ice Cream. Second largest ice cream manufacturer in Europe and third largest worldwide. Berkshire Hathaway owns Dairy Queen. That makes sense. Interesting. So seems like is Baskin and Robbins. I don't know if it's Baskin Robbins or Baskin and Robbins. Is Baskin Robbins, let's say, I think it's Baskin Robbins. Uh, individual entity? Individual entity? Okay. So Baskin Robbins is owned by Inspire Brands, American multinational chain of ice cream and cake specialty shops owned by Inspire Brands. Previously, Baskin Robbins was part of Dunkin' Brands Group. The information states Baskin Robbins and Dunkin' Donuts comprise Dunkin' Brands. Baskin Robbins has been owned by several different companies. It was founded as an independent company in 1945 by Bert Baskin and Irv Robbins. 67, acquired by United Fruit. 73, purchased by J. Lawrence and Co. Became part of the Allied Domec through mergers. 2006, purchased by a group of private equity firms. 2012, Dunkin' Brands, which included Baskin Robbins, became independent of the private equity firm. Most recent indicates that Baskin Robbins is now part of Inspire Brands, suggesting a further change in ownership. Okay. What brands? I've heard of Inspire Brands. What brands does Inspire Brands own? Arby's, Buffalo Wild Wings, Sonic Drive-In, Jimmy John's, Dunkin' Donuts. Hmm. Wait, so Dunkin' Donuts is owned by Dunkin' Brands. So what happened to Dunkin' Brands? Mr. Donut. Key points about Inspire Brands formed in 2018 when Arby's restaurant group merged with Buffalo Wild Wings. I like Buffalo Wild Wings. Interesting. So what happened to Dunkin' Brands? Okay, let's see. It's owned by Rourke Capital Group, a private equity firm. 2024, Inspire Brands operates over 31,700 locations across its various brands. Company generated approximately 30 billion system sales in 2023. Not publicly traded, privately held company. Inspire Brands may be considering an IPO in late 24-25, potentially valuing the company at 20 billion. Though this is still in early discussion stages, the company has grown rapidly through acquisitions with major purchases including Sonic Drive 2018, Jimmy John's 2019, Dunkin' Brands 2020. Okay, okay. So who runs? Who is the CEO? Who is the CEO of Inspired Brands? Very interesting. They just went on a buying spree, just acquired a bunch of stuff. Paul Brown. Paul Brown is the co-founder and CEO of Inspire Brands. Held this position since Feb 2018. Prior to founding, he was CEO of Arby's for 5 years, 13 to 18. Led the formation of Inspire Brands, merged with Buffalo Wild Wings. He has overseen several major acquisition. I'm not sure what is Sonic Drive In. What is Sonic Drive In? Not sure. Okay, where we at? He has overseen, okay, received several industry awards. What's his background? Other major companies in the hospitality industry, such as Hilton, Worldwide, and Expedia, before joining Arby's and subsequently co-founding Inspire Brands. Huh. Give a timeline of Paul Brown's career achievements. Let's see. Paul Brown, very good looking, very sleek hair. Looks like the CEO. Okay, let's see. Search images. Give me more. Give me more. Do we have something interesting? No. Okay. Worked. Oh. Okay. He started as a manager for the BCG, Boston Consulting Group, served as partner at McKinsey and Company, leading the global travel and hospitality practice. Very interesting. 4 to 8, SVP of Global Brand Services at Intercontinental Hotels Group. 8 to 10, President of Expedia.com, Expedia's Partner Services Group. 10 to 13, President of Brands and Commercial Services at Hilton Worldwide. So he has only worked at top tier companies: BCG, McKinsey, Intercontinental, Expedia, Hilton, and then Arby's. I'm not sure about Arby's. Became Chief Executive Officer of Arby's Restaurant Group, co founded Inspire Brands with Neil Aronson of Rourke Capital Group, CEO of Inspire Brands. Under Brown's leadership, acquired Sonic, acquired Jimmy John's, acquired Dunkin' Brands, named Entrepreneur of the Year in Retail and Consumer Products, named Restaurant Leader, received Norman Award, Silver Plate. Wow. Current positions: chairman of the board of directors of Neiman Marcus Group, board member of Focus Brands. What is Focus Brands? Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, Georgia Tech Foundation, executive committee member of the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce. Okay, what is Focus Brands? Is it again restaurant? He's the board member. What is Focus Brands? Focus Brands recently rebranded and is now known as Go To Foods. Go To Foods. What is Focus Brands? Let's see. Carvel Cinnabon. Jamba Juice. Okay, I know one. Jamba Juice. Interesting. Ownership. Go-To Foods, formerly Focus, is an American company that owns several well-known food service brands. Company owns Schlotzsky's Carvel Cinnabon, Moe's Southwest Grill, McAllister's Deli, Auntie Anne's, and Jamba. Reported revenue of 1.9 billion. Founded 2001, holding company for Carvel Corporation, grew through acquisitions of various brands over the years. Headquarter Georgia, primary operates franchisor. With a focus on franchising various types of quick service restaurants. Jim Jim was named CEO. Okay. Huh. Very interesting. Did Dunkin' brands or why did Inspire brands acquire Dunkin' brands? Portfolio expansion, 11.3 billion. Wow. Huh. Did anyone talk about it? I'm not sure. 11.3 billion is a big amount. That's pretty much like, I don't know, WhatsApp acquisition? I don't remember. WhatsApp was 17 billion, something like that. The acquisition added two iconic and complementary brands to Inspire's existing portfolio, furthering their goal of bringing together a family of differentiated restaurant brands. Increased scale, became the second largest restaurant company in the US by both system sales and locations. Okay, quick check. How much time? We have crossed 1 hour. Huh. Maybe let's keep going for 5 more minutes. Dunkin' Brands brought a scaled international platform, allowing Inspire to expand its global presence. Dunkin' Brands had a robust consumer packaged goods licensing infrastructure, which was seen as beneficial to Inspire. Dunkin' had a robust consumer packaged goods licensing infrastructure, which was seen as beneficial to Inspire. The acquisition, Inspire had restaurants, Buffalo Wild Wings and RB. And with Dunkin', they got the expertise of consumer packaged goods because of how Baskin Robbins and Dunkin' Donuts operates. The acquisition added more than 15 million loyalty members to Inspire's customer base, complementary offerings, added a new guest experience and occasions to Inspire's portfolio, particularly in the beverage and snack categories. Inspire believe both Dunkin' and Baskin Robbins would benefit from leveraging the capabilities and best practices of Inspire's shared services platform. Dunkin' and Baskin Robbins were seen as category leaders. Actually, this is interesting. Why did Dunkin' Dunkin' drop donuts from its name? I I remember having a hot chocolate from Dunkin' Donuts once in New York City, and I hated it. It was so chocolatey. It was bad. That's the only Dunkin' experience I remember. I was really craving a hot chocolate. Dunkin' Donuts, Dunkin' Donuts, Dunkin' Donuts, Dunkin' Donuts. Interesting to see the evolution. They had a weird mascot from 56 to 60. Okay. Wait, what was this? Just call us Dunkin'. Just call us Dunkin'. So they have dropped donuts from its name in 2018, rebranding itself simply as Dunkin' for several strategic reasons. They want to focus on beverages. Primary motivation, emphasize transformation into a beverage led brand. Coffee sales accounted for approximately 60% of the company's total sales, and the shift aimed to capitalize on the growing demand for coffee and other beverages, moving away from with coffee you can build a habit. Donuts is more like a sweet, you kind of have it once in a week, or some people might have every single day, but coffee is a habit. Coffee is a part of the routine, which keeps people coming back. Demand for coffee and other beverages moving away from traditional emphasis on donuts, which have lower profit margins and face declining consumer interest due to health trends. Simplification. The rebranding was part of a broader strategy to simplify the brand and streamline operations. Sought to create a more modern and efficient image by shortening its name, which was seen as aligning with their efforts to reduce menu complexity and improve service efficiency. Okay. Simplification. Market positioning. Better position itself against competitors like Starbucks, originally expanded its offerings beyond coffee. Name change was intended to reflect a more diverse menu that included sandwiches and other food items while still retaining donuts on the menu. Consumer perception. How consumers had already begun informally referring to the chain as Dunkin', making the official change resonate with customer familiarity and preferences. Executives expressed that the new name would create a sense of energy and modernity, helping to attract younger customers who are increasingly health conscious and looking for convenient beverage options. That's right. Hmm, good question. Has the name change impacted Dunkin' sales? CEO David Hoffman. David Hoffman also happens to be the host of Bankless podcast. Good to see that. Change was rooted into strategic priorities, heightened focus on beverages, and commitment to simplification. Coffee was already 60% of company's total sales. The company had been experiencing slow growth before the name change. The search results mentioned that while Starbucks had been achieving 5 to 6% comp sales growth, what is comp? Comparatively, Dunkin' Donuts had managed only about 1.5% annually over the same period. Too little, too late for Dunkin'. The rebranding efforts were too little, too late, implying that the impact on sales may not have been as significant as hoped. Involved more than just the name change, including expanding the menu, modernizing stores, and enhancing a digital presence, all of which were intended to drive sales growth. So, hmm, I was expecting that we would have some data that we could look at, and it could actually, let's see, give me revenue of Dunkin' from 2015 to 2023. Let's see, Perplexity does this graph thing. I hope it shows us something. Okay, okay. We have the graph thing over here, but it only. Okay, okay. So there was no significant change in 2019. Why don't we have the data after that? Revenue 1.4. By the way, this graphing thing, beautiful. Beautiful Perplexity. Quarterly. Wait, can I move ahead? No, I cannot. So there was a big change from 2016 to 2017. Why don't we have data after that? Oh shit, because Duncan was acquired by Inspire Brands, and Inspire Brands is privately held, and now we no more have public data. Okay, interesting. Hmm. Did Inspire Brands make any significant changes to Duncan? But this is interesting to see. Between 2018 and 2019, after the change, there was $100 million more revenue, but not a significant change. There was a significant change over here. What did they do? Okay, let's see. Leadership change. Dave Hoffman, former CEO of Dunkin' Brands, was named as a special advisor to inspire CEO, not to inspire him, the inspire the company CEO Paul Brown to help guide the transition. Scott Murphy, who had been president of Dunkin' Americas, was named president of Dunkin' and head of Inspire's beverage and snack category, category or category, category. Organizational structure. Dunkin' was integrated into Inspire shared services platform. Hmm. This sounds very similar to what was the company? The company was called. The company was called. I forgot the name, but they were acquiring a bunch of e-commerce brands because they were like e-commerce brands that were profitable or selling a lot, really popular on Amazon. And the concept was that we will unite the back office operations of all these brands so that we can bring more efficiency, but it didn't turn out to work as well as they thought. The concept made sense on paper, but it for some reason didn't work as expected. But it would be interesting to see that how their shared services platform works or worked. Realigned its corporate structure with Scott Murphy, former Dunkin' president, becoming chief brand officer, overseeing all of Inspire brands in the US, including Dunkin'. Scale and resources. The acquisition gave Dunkin' access to Inspire Brands' resources and expertise in managing multiple restaurant brands, became the second largest restaurant company in the US by both system sales and locations after the acquisition, which provided Dunkin' with increased scale and purchasing power. Hmm. Leveraging Dunkin's strong franchisee network, large and loyal customer base, scaled international platform, and robust consumer packaged goods licensing capability. Integrating Dunkin' into its portfolio Inspired Brands stated that it would maintain Dunkin's distinctive positioning and dedicated leadership team. Hmm. Use company owned restaurants as a test bed for innovation, potentially speeding up operational improvements that could benefit Dunkin'. Very interesting. Hmm. Wow. We could keep going, but it's been an hour. It's been a good time. All right. That's the stream. Thank you.